Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm Joe Ntwali and I am a student in Kepler University and I am a camp coordinator as well. So I'm going to ask you a few questions, but before we proceed, can you tell us about yourself?
Okay, thank you. My name is Angelique. I live in this camp. I'm a Congolese refugee. I'm 23 years old. I'm married and with one baby boy.
Okay, great. So I'm going to ask you about life in Gihembe, especially for women.
Yes.
So my first question is, how is life in Gihembe for women? So you can talk about daily life, health, or even go down with old women, youth, and kids.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. The daily life of women here in Gihembe camp is somehow difficult, whereby their life always according to the mentality of our culture, the mentality of the people here. There is more violence toward those women. And especially when you see here in the camp, the number of women are higher than the number of men. Because when we was attacked from there in Congo, more men died and the boys died. That's why we are high number than men. And according to the mentality of the people here, the women have many challenges because they are only those who do many things. For example, the houseworks. For example, to find the opportunity of getting money to feed their families. And when I see their education, it is too low, it is poor. Because, as I told the mentality of people, they says that it is not necessary for ladies or for women to go to school because they are always taken as merchandise when it becomes of a marriage.
So now you are talking about how that life impacts women in education.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So can you tell us how that life is for old women, for youth, and for kids separately, and then you will go on how it impacts their education more deeply.
Okay, when I take on the old women here, as I told you, they are high number. They have high number than the old men, and always are those women who do the houseworks at home and find out opportunities to get money to feed their families. And are those women who always go in cooperatives to find the way they can get money to feed their families. And when I go on the youth, for the youth, I can say for their education, because we are contracted here, we are many, if I can say so, we are many. The youth too are so many, and we don't have the opportunity of getting the upper secondary school. And about that, when there is no opportunity of getting getting the upper secondary school, we face many challenges. For example, the unwanted pregnancies, the prostitutions, the boys on the streets without nothing to do, because here in the camp there is no job, there is no many enough opportunities of getting a job, so that we are staying here without anything to do. But somehow we have the AIDS agencies which can help us to know how to manage the if I can say the how to manage the reproductive age for the ladies. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I heard that it's challenging to get education here in the camp as a woman.
Yes.
As a woman, sorry. So how did you manage to get education in this challenging environment?
Thank you. For me, even if it is very difficult for our culture to give the opportunity to a lady to get to school, and it is very difficult to go to school for women, for me it is, I know that it is difficult, but I could see the old woman who have who are intellectual, who were studied, those old women, and I asked myself, how did they study? And I were committed because of those old women, intellectual old women. I'm committed, um, and until now I'm committed because I still see the old women who were studied before and were studied in those challenges.
So they are like your inspiration
Yeah,
in
my
education.
inspiration.
Okay, amazing. So talking about education, so when you were young, you probably grew up in these hard conditions. Can you tell me a little bit of how you had your education through years and in this challenging environment?
Uh,
How did you improve?
yeah.
Apart from a woman who inspired you, how did you improve? How did you manage to keep your education?
Yes. You can say I improved because I finished my primary school, I finished my upper secondary school. As in that my commitment, I always be updated on the new information where I can get the scholarship to go in university. Always get the information from the news or the newspaper or from the radio where I can get the scholarship. Yeah, that's why I'm improved because I'm not as I was in the last time.
Okay, great. So you had your education through scholarships.
Yes.
Okay, amazing. So, how was life before you come to the camp for women?
For women,
How was it before?
yeah, the life for women was very dangerous. Maybe if I can say when it was in Congo, yeah, the life was only for cultivating, yeah, and following the animals like cows, and stay home for houseworks only. No case of studying there in Congo for women. It was totally not possible for some, but I can say it was totally because there is some of women who were studied before. But according to our culture, to the mentality or based violence, it was not possible for everyone to go to school. That's why the life of women in the past years, it was very difficult.
Okay, so you kept on saying violence. What kind of violence are you talking about?
Yeah, for example, I can give you an example. In this, in past, like 10 years ago, the the boys or who are in age of marriage, of getting a marriage, they had a traditional blood kidnapped the ladies, and there is no one to complain about that. It was their culture. It was traditional culture to 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 kidnap the ladies,
Oh,
and you have the forced marriage. Yeah.
Okay, Angelique. So
Yes.
thank you for letting us know how the life was before. So how do you picture, or how do you think life for women will be in future in the
As
refugee camp?
okay, as the life nowadays has been little change, where according to that violence there is the AIDS agencies to protect that violence, that the mind have been changed. And in the last time there was a positive discrimination. When I say positive discrimination is where by education they give more chance for the ladies than girls. Yeah, to
Minimize.
minimize the number of guys, of boys who were always studied, but to make up the number of ladies. And I'm sure that if that process continue, that positive discrimination continue, it will help us in order to be intellectual as women like boys. Okay.
Okay. So thank you for your time, Angelique.
Yes, thank you.
We appreciate your contribution, and we hope to keep in touch in future.
Okay, well,
Thanks.
welcome.